Welcome to Aiode, an ethical generative AI production tool designed to understand your song and create new musical parts that actually fits it. Aiode listens to what you've already created and responds to the different elements of your track, generating original layers instead of recycled loops. Let's take a look. When you open Aiode, you can start a new project in a few different ways. You can either bring in an existing song, build a track from scratch, reshape a sample with Sample Remaker, or explore demo projects to hear what's possible. I'm going to load in a track I'm already working on and start adding parts. I'll drag it straight into the session. After uploading, Aiode asks for the BPM and time signature. This track is in 4/4 at 164 BPM. Additionally, make sure your track aligns to the grid before moving forward. These steps are important because the system relies on them to understand your song. With the track loaded, I'm ready to start creating. The workspace should feel intuitive if you spent time in any DAW. You've got a timeline across the top, as well as playback controls such as auto scroll, play stop, snap to beats, and metronome. On the left-hand side, you'll find editing tools for selecting, cutting, and regenerating. Along the bottom are the models library, where you can choose the different models and the mixer to control audio levels. Aiode's library is split into two main types of models, musicians and layers. Musicians are performance-driven. Each one represents an actual, real musician, such as a drummer, bassist, guitarist, synth bass player, or trumpeter, generating parts as if they were responding to your song. Every time you use one of these virtual musicians, the real musicians behind them are compensated. Layers focus on adding additional compositional elements in specific styles. These include rhythmic elements, orchestral beds, electronic sounds, acoustic textures, and more. Let's start adding our virtual models. I can either select my models directly from the library or press the New Track button to choose the models I want to add. Once selected, the library will be automatically filtered based on my selection. I can also use the search bar to explore the different models. I'll start with adding a few musicians. I first want to add a rhythm section, so I'll add Aiode's beatmaker and bass player. Additionally, I'll also add Avior, the trumpet player. To choose a layer track, let's choose the layer model Final Touch, which adds a professional polish to my track. I want to note I can always right-click on the model's track heads to remove or replace them. I'll zoom out, select the sections where I want each of our models to play, and create regions across those bars. At this point, Aiode asks what kind of part I'm looking for. I'll choose a rhythm part for both the beatmaker and bass players. For the trumpet player, I'll choose free, meaning the musician will come up with his own interpretation of that section of the song. I'll do the same for the Final Touch layer. Now that I have all of my models in place, I'll press Generate. These models listen to the song as well as one another and play something that locks into the harmony, timing, and energy of the track.
When we're in the dark and we're all alone, oh darling, well, I can share my love with you. No one knows when life gets hard, oh darling, I can.
Wow, that sounds great. If I want to hear a different interpretation, I can instantly request another take. I just select the region, cue a new take, and generate again. I can view all of my previous takes in the Takes drop-down list. If most of the part works, but a specific moment feels wrong, I don't have to redo everything. Using the generation brush, I can highlight just that small section and ask Aiode to rework it by pressing Generate, while keeping the rest intact. For deeper control, I'll open the Performance panel. Here I can guide how the musicians will play and sound. Each musician has its own performance page, where I can adjust things like articulation and control the overall character of the sound, and choose musician-specific elements. Note that after changing or selecting different control parameters, you'll need to press Generate again to receive the new take. Let's jump to a different project to explore Aiode's sample remaker that lets you recreate any sample to match the rhythm, harmony, and movement of your track, turning your favorite samples into ones that perfectly fit your song. I'll add a new track, select Sample Remaker, and define the section I want to fill. I'll now drop a reference sample that doesn't match my track in terms of BPM and style. Let's listen to it. Okay, now let's first generate.
Walking tightrope, say the lightning, like how you move. I would swim across the ocean to hold on to you. I don't know where.
That sounds nice. You can always listen or replace the reference you've uploaded at the right side of the screen. To export audio, you can either drag a region or a full track. Dragging a region exports only that part. Dragging from the track head or mixer exports the entire track with its timing, which is best for syncing in your DAW. For most cases, I personally use Project Export in the top right, and either export all stems, all takes, or a mixed master. That's a walkthrough of how Aiode helps you create musical parts that respond to your song. Explore different models, experiment with variations, and use it as a creative partner in your workflow. See you next time.